Text messages recovered from the Ketamine Queen's phone reveal Matthew Perry paid $55,000 in cash for ketamine that cost just $12 at any hospital. In his final hours, he received multiple injections. But here's what the police won't tell you. The autopsy found ketamine levels so astronomically high, forensic toxicologists said it would have been nearly impossible for self-administration. To the world, it was a tragic accident. To the evidence, it was something far darker. By the end of this video, you won't just question who killed Matthew Perry, you'll be terrified of who protected them. What I'm about to show you involves sealed federal documents, 5 arrests, and a distribution network that reaches into the heart of Hollywood. This isn't just about Matthew Perry. This is about an underground pharmaceutical network that had been operating in plain sight for years. If you're ready to see the evidence, the media buried, hit subscribe now. We're building a community that refuses to accept the official story, because someone doesn't want you asking these questions. October 28th, 2023, Pacific Palisades. Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing, the man who made millions laugh, was found face down in his hot tub. The initial reports were gentle. Tragic. An accidental drowning? A relapse. Hollywood mourned. The world moved on. But behind the headlines, federal agents weren't moving on. They were digging. And what they found would crack open a conspiracy that had been feeding Hollywood's elite for years. Life seemed quiet after his death. But in the shadows, investigators had already found the digital trail, and it led straight to someone they called the Ketamine Queen. The coroner ruled it an accident. Acute effects of ketamine. Drowning. Case closed. Perry had struggled with addiction for years. This was just another tragic Hollywood ending. But wait, look closer at the ketamine levels in his bloodstream. The amount found was equivalent to general anesthesia used in surgery. Forensic toxicologists said there's no way he could have injected himself with that dose and remained conscious long enough to get into a hot tub.
Listen closely to this next part.
Then the DEA found the text messages. Jasmine Sangre, the so-called Ketamine Queen, had been supplying Perry for months. But it wasn't just her. There were 5 people charged. 2 doctors, Perry's live-in assistant, a drug broker, and Sangre herself. The messages were chilling. One doctor texted, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." Another wrote, "Let's find out." They weren't just selling him drugs. They were exploiting a vulnerable man spiraling into addiction. And when he died, they tried to cover it up. His assistant admitted to injecting Perry with ketamine multiple times the day he died, including the final fatal dose. The theories are terrifying, but theories mean nothing without proof. And federal prosecutors found the proof. Prosecutors recovered thousands of encrypted messages. Sangha's phone revealed she was running a full-scale operation out of her North Hollywood home, dubbed the Sangha Stash House. She supplied ketamine to celebrities, executives, and Hollywood insiders. After Perry's death, she texted an associate, "Delete all our messages." In the 2 months before his death, Perry paid over $55,000 in cash. For context, a legal vial of ketamine costs about $12. They were charging him $2,000 per vial, exploiting his desperation, draining his fortune while poisoning him. The autopsy revealed Perry had been injected multiple times that day, with 3 documented injections on October 28th alone. His assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, who had no medical training, was administering shots under the doctor's instructions. The final injection sent Perry's ketamine levels into a lethal range. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, if this feels like more than an accident, hit the like button. This evidence needs to reach everyone before it gets buried again. Pay attention, because these are the questions no one in Hollywood wants answered. Why did 2 licensed doctors risk everything to supply an addict with lethal doses? How long has the Ketamine Queen been operating, and who else did she supply? Why did Perry's assistant continue injecting him even after he showed signs of distress? Who else in Hollywood knew about this network? And why did it take a death for federal agents to act? This wasn't just negligence. This was a systematic exploitation of addiction. And Matthew Perry wasn't the first. Matthew Perry spent his final years trying to help others escape addiction. He opened sober living homes. He wrote about his struggles. He wanted his legacy to be hope. Instead, he became a victim of the very system he tried to fight, but his death did something those 5 defendants never expected. It exposed them. The Ketamine Queen now faces life in prison. The doctors surrendered their medical licenses and received prison sentences. The assistant faces up to 25 years. They tried to bury the truth with him, but they couldn't extinguish what he stood for. Let me recap what we just uncovered. Matthew Perry was injected with ketamine multiple times in his final day. His assistant, 2 doctors, and a drug broker exploited his addiction for profit. The Ketamine Queen ran a celebrity drug pipeline for years, and the evidence proves this wasn't an accident, it was a business. But here's what you need to understand. This network didn't die with Perry. There are more suppliers, more doctors willing to exploit addiction, more assistants who will inject anything for a paycheck. We've only scratched the surface. And in the next video, we're going even deeper. exposing new names, new connections, and a side of Hollywood no one wants you to see. If this investigation shook you, if you care about the truth, subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Do you believe this was truly an accident, or was Matthew Perry murdered by greed? Comment below.